Okay guys, today we are going to continue adding with two-digit numbers. This past week we have been focusing on adding, using manipulatives to help us add and subtract two-digit numbers and regrouping those numbers when we need to. And manipulatives are great and they help us with the hands-on aspect of adding and subtracting, but you don't always have the manipulatives with you. Say you're taking a test or you're doing homework at home and you get stuck with adding or subtracting and you don't have those manipulatives with you. And so I wanted to introduce y'all into a new way and an easy way to help you guys add or subtract if you ever do get stuck and you don't have those resources with you to help you. And so this could definitely be used at home when you're doing homework, or say you're taking a test and you get stuck for some reason. This is definitely a quick and easy way that will help you find the answer that you're looking for. And this is called a number line. And a number line is what it is called. It's a line of numbers, and it usually starts at 0, or at least that's where we're going to start today. It starts at 0, which will be this arrow. We're going to use that as it being the 0, and it ends at, this one's, we're going to say it ends at 35, and it kind of keeps going here just to show that number lines can go on forever. They can go on to whatever number you need them to go to. Huge numbers, they can keep going as far, but this one today we just need it to end at 35. And number lines can count by different numbers. They can count by 1s, 2s, any numbers, 5s, 10s, whatever number that you need it to count by. And today I made this number line count by 5s. It goes 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. And you'll see that the multiples of 5 are the big lines, but there's little lines between each one, and that's because those are 1, 2, 3, 4. It's counting by 1s in the middle. But this way it's just easier for you to see that it is counting by 5s, but the 1s are the smaller lines on the inside. And so we're going to be using this word problem that I have here to, we're going to be using the number line to help us solve this word problem. And so the word problem says Taylor had 18 jelly beans. Gabe gave her 9 jelly beans. How many total jelly beans did Taylor have? And so we, with the number line, we're going to want to start at our first number. So Taylor had 18 jelly beans at the beginning. So we are going to want to start, we're going to go to our number line and find 18. So we know we're counting by 5, so 5, 10, 15, 20. Well, 18 is between 15 and 20, so it's going to be one of these lines in the middle. So 15, 16, 17, 18. So I'm going to put a big dot, hopefully right there. Make it a little bigger so you can see a big dot right there, and that's going to be our 18. So we have the 18 jelly beans. Gabe gave her 9 jelly beans. So and the question is asking how many total jelly beans did she have. So we want to see how many she had after Gabe gave her the 9 jelly beans. So we're going to start right here with our 18, and we're going to want to count over. We're going to jump over 9 spaces, and wherever we land after 9 spaces is going to tell us how many total jelly beans she had. So we're going to start right here, and we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I'm going to put a dot right there. So that is 9 spaces. So our answer is between 25 and 30. So it's got to be one of these little lines in the middle. So it's 25, 26, 27. So our answer is 27. And so we're going to use, I'm going to show you guys how you would write it out if you didn't use the number line. So we have 18 plus 9, and we know that 9 plus 8 is 17, so we write our 7 and we regroup our 1 that we have down here up here to our tens place, because that's giving us another 10. And so now that we have 2 tens, that gives us our 20, so we have 27. And so that's our answer. And so number lines are also a good way to check your work. Say you started writing it out like this, but you wanted to make sure that you did get the right answer, so you could draw your number line out and see, and that's a good way to check your answer, to see and make sure you got the right answer. And so that is a good way just to check your work, or if you ever get stuck, if the numbers are too big, or if you get confused for some reason, you can definitely use the number line to help you figure out your answer. And so later on in the future, we'll also be using this with subtraction, but today I just wanted to focus on adding, because adding is usually a little easier than subtracting, and but I hope this will definitely help you guys in the future with your homework or on a test. If you ever get stuck, you can use this method when you don't have the manipulatives to help you, and I definitely think this is a great resource for you guys to use. Okay guys, now we are going to be talking about time, and today the type of time that we're going to be doing is we're going to be subtracting time. And so we're going to start off with a designated time, and we're going to subtract to see what time we started at. So we're going to use this word problem right here to do that. So our word problem says, Caleb had a football game that lasted 2 hours and 45 minutes. If it was 9:30 p.m. when the game ended, what time did the game start? So we know that the game started at 9:30 and it lasted 2 hours and 45 minutes, so we want to see what time the game started. So we're going to use our time tracker to help us figure out what time the game started. Okay, so I'm going to use a pink marker to represent my hours on my time tracker chart. And so at the top, I just want to write how long the game lasted. That way I can remember and know what amount of time we're going to be subtracting. So we have 2 hours, and I'm going to use the purple marker to represent my minutes. So we have 45 minutes. Okay. So we started at 9:30. So I'm going to write that. We always write our initial time first, 9:30. So now, do I want to subtract the hours or the minutes first from my time? And I think it would be easier to subtract my minutes first, because that way we can get, usually hours are easier to subtract, so we can get the hard stuff out of the way first, and then that way when we get to our hours, we can just easily subtract our hours. And so we're going to subtract 45 minutes first. But it seems like 45 minutes would be a big number to subtract in such a big chunk, so I want to break down 45 minutes. I want to break down 45 minutes. So I think I want to start by subtracting 15 minutes first. And from there, we'll see what we can do after that. So first, I'm going to take away 15 minutes from my 30 minutes. So I'm going to come down here, and I'm going to try to scooch that. Okay. So I'm going to take away 30 minus 15. 0 minus 5, we can't take away 5 from 0, so we're going to regroup, change our 3 to 2, and carry our and regroup our 0 to a 10. And so 10 minus 5 is 5. And 2 minus 1 is 1. So that's going to give us 9/15. So we have 9/15. And I feel like that was pretty easy, so I want to subtract 15 minutes again. So I'm going to do 15 minus 15. 5 minus 5 is 0. 1 minus 1 is 0. So that is going to give us 9 o'clock. Oops, I used the wrong color for this. 9 o'clock. Okay, so we've taken away 15 minutes twice. And so how many minutes is that altogether? I want to see how many minutes I've subtracted altogether. So I'm just going to go ahead and add these two together right here in the corner because I want to see how many minutes I've added so far and how many I need to still do. So 15 plus 15, 5 plus 5 is 10. So we're going to write our 0, regroup our 1 over here. 1, 2, 3. We've done 30 minutes so far, so I'm going to take away 30 minutes from 45 to see how many left we have to do. 5 minus 0 is 5. 4 minus 3 is 1. So we have 15 more minutes that we need to subtract, so we'll just take away those 15 minutes. Okay. Now, we're going to take away those 15 minutes from 9 o'clock. But 9 o'clock is just a set, even 9 sets of 60 minutes. And so, since we've are at the end of our 9 o'clock, we know that 9 o'clock means that we are at 60 minutes. So we're going to subtract 60 minus 15. Because we know that when it's an even number, when it's just a flat number, it's not 9 o'clock and it's not 9:15, it's just plain 9. That's 60 minutes. And so 9 minus 15, we're going to 10 minus 5, we can't take away 0 minus 5, we can't take away 5 from 0, so we're going to regroup, change our 6 to a 5, bring over our, we regroup our 0 and make it a 10, so 10 minus 5 is 5, 5 minus 1 is 4. So that's going to give us 45 minutes in our minutes column. But remember, we started at 9:30 and we took away 15 minutes, which gave us 9:15. So we're getting less and less. We're starting to move away from 9 o'clock. We took away another 15 minutes, we got to 9 o'clock. We're starting to kind of gradually move into the number before 9 o'clock. So now that we've started over a new hour, we're not in 9 o'clock anymore, but we are in 8 o'clock. So it's going to be 8:45. And so now that we've taken away all of our minutes, I'm going to go ahead and mark that out so we don't worry about it anymore. Now we are going to start subtracting our hours. So 2 hours. So I'm going to subtract 1 hour. And we know that easily subtracting hours from hours is just like subtracting numbers from numbers. 8 minus 1 is 7. 8 o'clock minus 1 hour gives us 7. 7 o'clock, so we have 7 with our 45 minutes. And then we have 1 more hour to subtract. 7 minus 1 is 6. 7 o'clock minus 1 hour is 6 o'clock. So we have 6:45. So the time that the football game started was 6:45. Now we're going to go through and make sure that we did that right. I want to go back and add these. So if the game started at 6:45, after 1 hour, it would have been 7:45. After another hour, it would have been 8:45. That's our 2 hours. And then after 15 minutes, 8:45, after 15 minutes, it would have been 9 o'clock. After another 15 minutes, it would have been 9:15. And after another 15 minutes, it would have been 9:30. And that's when the game ended. So our game started at 6:45, and after 2 hours and 45 minutes, the game ended at 9:30. And so this is a good way to use your time tracker to help you subtract your hours and minutes to find out an initial time when something started.